7 things you need to know before becoming a professional photographer. All right, everyone, my name is Cincotta. I am a professional wedding and portrait photographer, and today we are going to talk about the 7 things I wish I knew before becoming a professional photographer. If I could travel back in time and warn myself, these are the things you're going to run into, I would do it right now. Time machine, we're gone. But I can't. And so today I hope to share that knowledge with you on the things I wish I would have known. My old self talking to my new self. That don't make sense. My new self talking to my old self. That would have been the way it would go down, I think, if time travel were possible. But it's not. So here we are. Now, the first thing, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but I shouldn't, but you're all gearheads. But the first thing I wish I knew was not to spend money on gear yet. When you're first starting out in photography, I know how it goes. It's all the toys, all the gadgets. Oh, let's see. I need a tripod, even though I don't use a tripod. I need lights for indoor. Then I need lights for outdoor. I need a speed light. I need Profoto lights. I need Godox lights. I need lights. You can never have enough lights. That is a problem when you're starting out in photography. Why is that a problem so soon? Because you have not figured out your style yet. So think about this. If you were like a carpenter, you don't just go out and buy a whole bunch of screwdrivers. You don't just go out and keep buying drills, right? You have to have a reason to buy those tools. And your gear, your lenses, your lighting, your camera, your tripods, your light stands, and on and on and on. Yes, you need them, but you still don't know what you need yet. It's too early on. And if I had known, I would have saved thousands of dollars. And by the way, when you finally do figure it out and you do know what you need, spend the money and get it right the first time. As somebody who's been at this for 15 years, I promise you, and I'm sure my veterans will agree, we always end up spending more money. You try and go cheap on a lens, and what ends up happening, it doesn't perform the way you want, so you buy the original lens you wanted. You try and go cheap on lighting, and it doesn't work the way you want it to, so what happens? You ultimately spend the money on lighting. So do yourself a favor. If you're talking, I'm talking to you, old Sal, if you can, get out there and buy the right gear when you finally have the money. So, you've been told. Tip number 2, learn from a working professional. This is harder than you think. In a lot of trades and crafts, this kind of, being an apprentice is a thing. And in the world of photography, it's too easy to just grab that camera, get out there and go. And because of that, we don't really get the training we want, right? I mean, going to school for photography, it's just not really a thing anymore because it's truly, you're going to go out there, you're just going to grab a camera. But a lot of skills are lost when you're not doing that, right? I mean, and the list goes on and on. But my advice to you is to find a pro and schlep bags, right? Just sit there, observe, and learn. Even if you're not shooting, learn and understand everything that goes into running a photography business, because it's not just about making pictures. How do they work? What's their workflow? From idea in their head to capture, to storing digital files, right? And delivering those digital files, editing those digital files, packaging up product for clients, how to order, what products to order, where to order them from. I mean, the list goes on and on. The amount of time you will save just by spending 3 months to 6 months, even if you're working for free for another photography studio, I'm telling you, you will learn a lot about the business of photography. Then when you have that experience, you can go out there and you're going to be much better equipped to be successful as a photographer. Tip number 3, practice, practice, practice. And when you're done, practice more. When I look back over my 15-year career, when I thought I was good, I wasn't that good. It was pretty bad. And so it's just clear that I still needed to continue practicing and evolving my craft because that's the word there, right? Evolve. You will continue to evolve your craft until you die. Again, I've been at this as a professional for 15 years. I started when I was 16 years old as an enthusiast, as a hobbyist, and I'm still not where I want to be as a working pro. And so that doesn't mean you can't become a working professional until you're perfect. That's not reality either. But you have to continue to practice and evolve your craft or you will lose that edge, that step you need to be a working professional. Tip number 4, shoot and burn will destroy your business. I'm going to say it again just in case you didn't hear me. Shooting and burning, that is the handing over of digital files to your clients for them to do whatever they want to do with them, will ultimately destroy your business. I don't care what you say in the comments. There is no one here Okay, let me know in the comments if you're a shoot and burner. And then next to that, let me know if you're actually making money at being a professional photographer. Because you're not. Because there's no money in shooting and burning. You're handing over your product, the product you created, and telling your client to go do whatever they want with it. And by the way, if clients knew what to do with all that stuff, they wouldn't have hired you. Figure that out. Your job is to edit that image, finally polish that image, and deliver that image in a tangible format that the client will have for generations to come. You know, this concept of delivering digital files isn't new now that we have digital cameras. Think about the days of film. You didn't take pictures and just hand them a roll of film. Hey, go develop it. Do whatever you want to do with it. That didn't happen. That's not how it worked. Doesn't work that way today either. Not if you want to run a successful business. You want to do it as a hobby on the side. You want to shoot for an hour for 25 bucks and then edit those pictures, spend 2 hours editing those pictures. Next thing you know, you're 4 or 5 hours into it, but hey, you made 25 bucks. If that's what you want to do, stop watching the video. You're probably going to get frustrated. But I'm telling you, spend the time. Shooting and burning will destroy your business. I wish I knew that back then because I wouldn't have wasted the first year to 2 years of my career delivering that way and almost going broke. Tip number 5, invest more time learning the business of photography than how to make pretty pictures. I get it. We're photographers. You want to make pretty pictures. It's so pretty to make pretty pictures, right? It's amazing. You sit there, you got a beautiful model, you take a picture of a beautiful model, and maybe your model's just a hummingbird and you love taking pictures of hummingbirds. I don't know. But what's the ultimate problem is that's not going to pay your bills. Again, we're talking about how to be a professional photographer. And so in that, you have to understand the business of photography. You have to understand cost of goods. You have to understand P&L. And if you don't know what P&L is, that's a problem. Okay. You have to understand COA, cost of acquisition. You have to understand marketing. You have to understand all these things that will impact your business. Now, I'm fortunate. When I started out, I have a business degree, and that has helped me tremendously to run a successful studio. But I'm telling you, if you're just getting started, you need to learn the business of photography. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rather be a 10 as a business person than a 10 as a photographer. Why? Why do I say that? First of all, you will never be a 10 as a photographer. None of us will. We're always learning and growing. But if you don't have that business acumen, you are going to fail at running a business or running a successful studio. So you've got to invest that time and learn how to run a studio properly. And that includes all those boring reports that are not pretty. Excel is not pretty. Sorry to break it to you, Microsoft. But Excel is not pretty, not sexy, but accountants think it is. And you have to invest in that just a little bit and learn the business principles that will help you be successful. Tip number 6, value yourself. Look, if you don't value yourself, no one will. And in the world we live in, it doesn't pick a store you go to. If I tell you you can go to Walmart and buy a chair for $5, or you can go to Restoration Hardware and buy a chair for $500, which chair is better? Whether you've seen them or not, it doesn't matter. Immediately, your brain is going to assume that for $500, it must be some magical chair. It massages your calves, your feet, I don't know, but it's better than the $5 chair. You would assume that. Well, this is consumer behavior, okay? This is not a Sal thing. This is not a photography thing. This is merely consumer behavior. Pick automobiles. You can buy a car for $500. You can buy a car for $500,000, which is better, okay? Now, granted, beauty's in the eye of the beholder here, right? If you don't value automobiles, you'd be happy with a motor scooter. You'll be happy with anything with 4 wheels, okay? But if you are a car aficionado, you want that $500,000 Bugatti, right? So the same is going to hold true for photography. If somebody values photography, they're not coming to you for $25. They're not looking to save money. They're looking to get the best. And when you're undercutting yourself and pricing yourself too low, you are signaling to the world you are not the best, you're not even that good. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter because perception is reality when it comes to the world of consumer demand. And I promise you, you have got to value yourself and your work. You are an artist and you are a professional artist at that. So put a value on it. And once you understand the tip to understand business, you're going to realize that you can't price cheap because, well, you can't keep the lights on that way. And finally, tip number 7, overnight success just doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. It's not there. I know you see all these sensations come online, these YouTube sensations, which I'm not a YouTube sensation. It does kind of frustrate me sometimes, but I'm just not one. But regardless, there is no overnight. It's about hustle. It's about hard work, getting out there and doing it right? But you have to realize it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to go from being in your basement or this being a hobby to next week you're pulling in $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year. So anybody pitching that to you is full of crap, and you need to realize that. It is hard work. Can it be done? Absolutely. Our studio is proof of that. And there's hundreds of studios around the world that are successful and make a six-figure living at it. It can be done. What I'm trying to impress upon you, it is done through hard work. There is no overnight magic formula. There is no overnight success story. You're going to have to put in the time, the hard work of becoming a good photographer and becoming a good business person. So those are my 7 tips. I hope they help you out. I hope they help you avoid some of the mistakes the old Sal made. And so if this video was useful to you, please subscribe to our channel, click the like button, sound off in the comments. We'll see you on the next one.